maybe Hound actually needed to sacrifice himself. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching the Road to TF5. This is just Webster's. We're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 86. And in this episode, let's talk about which Autobot is going to die. Now, I know that a lot of people are really sensitive to this question because they love a lot of the characters. But the fact is that in every Transformers film, an Autobot has died. At least one of them. In the first one, it was Jazz. In the second one, it was Jetfire, Optimus Prime, and the RC triplets. In the third one, it was Q and Ironhide. In the fourth one, it was Leadfoot and Ratchet. Somebody's got to bite the dust in Transformers last night, and it's time to find out who. Now, I did not put the Lady or Cogman as any of the options because I just don't know anything about them. I don't even know if they're Autobots. So I didn't include them in this poll that I created on Instagram. I posted 3 photos of 3 Autobots, or rather, photos of 3 Autobots, and that would be the new Autobots that were introduced in Transformers Age of Extinction. Hound, Crosshairs, and Drift. Now, I didn't include Bumblebee because Bumblebee is not gonna die. Optimus Prime is not gonna die, okay? Optimus Prime has died before. Optimus Prime has been near death in the past. But Bumblebee is no way gonna die. He's got a solo film coming out in 2018. So him dying is not an option. So that's why I didn't include him. As much as some people would like to see Bumblebee, you know, take one for the team, it's not happening. But Hound, Crosshairs, and Drift could potentially go. Maybe not all of them, maybe just one of them. And we're gonna find out who from the Ragin Nation thinks is gonna go. And I put a little bit of a poll on Instagram, and all you had to do was double tap to vote. And the poll results are in. And let's just start off with the character with the least amount of votes. That would be Hound. 230 votes for Hound. And I think the reason why people don't think that Hound is gonna die is because that he's a heavily armed Autobot. He's got a lot of weaponry, got a huge arsenal, and he could totally fend off Decepticons. He's the artillery for the Autobots, so there's no way he's gonna die. As a matter of fact, he totally fended off a whole bunch of KSI prototypes in Age of Extinction. So that really shows how tough he is. All right. The second one with the most amount of votes is Drift. 425 votes. I would like to say that I think Drift is gonna die, and I'll explain why later. Okay? Now, the character that the Ragin Nation voted in majority of who's gonna die is Crosshairs with 560 votes. I'm just curious why people really think that Crosshairs is gonna die. I think Crosshairs is going to survive. And if anything, I think Crosshairs is going to make it through a couple more films. Now, I'm going to explain why I believe what I believe for all these characters. I believe that Crosshairs is not going to die because of his alt mode. He is a Chevy Corvette. And Transformers has always been about marketing. And the Corvette is a very, very accessible vehicle. And by accessible vehicle, I mean that it is a vehicle that, you know, it's not, I mean, it's expensive, but it's not so expensive to the point which is hard to obtain. So I think that they're going to keep on marketing this vehicle. I think that it wouldn't make sense for them to cut off the marketing for the Corvette. That wouldn't make any sense for the whole marketing aspect of this film. So I think that based on that alone, Crosshairs is going to survive. And not only that, I forget who voices Crosshairs, but that is an actual voice actor. His main talent is voice acting, not acting in like live action. You know what I'm saying? He's not a traditional actor in the classic sense. He is a voice actor. And, you know, that is his career, and he can continue doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I believe that Crosshairs is going to survive. Now, as for Hound, I don't think is going to die because he's a military vehicle. He is also someone who's very, very tough, and he's got a lot of weaponry, and he's also a huge fan favorite. And that is why I don't think he's gonna die. It wouldn't make sense to have him die. You know, a character like that. And to top things off, now I like to look at this from every single aspect of the game. I don't know why I said of the game, but every single aspect of the situation, okay? And that is, he's a giant military vehicle, a tactical vehicle. And you know how Michael Bay loves to promote the military. And to top things off, like, this is a military vehicle, and Hound was a different military vehicle in the in Age of Extinction. So I'm thinking that if he does make it and survive for the next one, he's probably going to be a different military vehicle, but similar. And the whole point is really just to promote the military. So that's why I don't think Hound is going to die. Now I'm going to explain to you why I think that Drift is going to die. I truly believe that Drift is going to die in Transformers Last Night, and that's mainly because of a lot of things. First of all, I don't know how Ken Watanabe feels about voice acting. I'm sure he really, really enjoys it, but I think that he would probably prefer to do other types of acting gigs, like where he's acting for real, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the main reason why I think that he's gonna bite the dust. Drift is gonna bite the dust because of what he is. He's a samurai. It's honorable to have a samurai's death. And now we have a samurai fighting off or dealing with knights. And so there's like a code of honor there. So I think that his death actually is something that adds to the story. It actually is something that adds some sort of substance to his character. So that's why I believe he's going to die. And not only that, he is a, or rather he was a Bugatti, what was it, a Bugatti, Veyron? Was it a Bugatti Veyron? He was a Bugatti Veyron. He's not a Bugatti Veyron. He's a Mercedes. I forgot what kind of Mercedes he is, but they totally switched up his alt mode. And one of the main reasons why was logistical reasons. They couldn't obtain the Bugatti. It's no longer made. There's a very limited number of them, and I think that it's also discontinued. So they couldn't even get that, and they had to resort to having him as a Mercedes. So what's going to happen next? Is he going to have another alt mode? Are they going to promote a new Mercedes? Or I think he's going to bite the dust. I really think he's going to bite the dust, and that's why I believe that Drift is going to die. And to top things off, seriously, was anybody really a fan of Drift like in the movie? I mean, he really didn't do a whole lot. A lot of gas. He really didn't do a whole lot. Even Crosshairs didn't do a whole lot. At least he piloted a Decepticon drone ship. You know what I'm saying? Drift, you know, he killed off 2 KSI prototypes. It was really cool. It was done all in one take, but that was it. That was all he did. In fact, it wasn't really, I mean, it was cool, but it was so short. And it made me feel like he didn't have a real impact. He didn't have a real presence in the film. They just threw him in there for the sake of adding new characters. So I think that he's got to go. He's got to go. So to anyone who's sad about that, I'm sorry, but this is just my theory. It doesn't really mean anything. I'm just thinking that it's a theory. It's a feasible theory. It's totally plausible, and it does make sense when you look at it from all angles, and it just shows you that well, at the end of all this, it's all about marketing. It's all about promoting products, namely vehicles and toys. But still, I think this might be the last film for Drift, so we might see him go. And that is who I think is going to die. Now, I'm not done talking about Autobot deaths. I think you got to check out this new photo that surfaced. Now, this is from Twitter user Banana Doctor. Now, you remember the Banana Doctor? He's been posting for the filming in Detroit. And he also shared a couple of photos while they were filming in the UK. And now a new photo has surfaced. I've never even seen this before. I don't know where this took place, but check this out. You could see that there's this green chunk on the ground. It's on the ground, laying flat on the ground, and I'm trying to make out what it is from this first photo. And I can't really tell what it is at first, but if you take a look at the second photo here, you can kind of see what it is. Well, first of all, let me describe the environment to you. This appears to be the exterior surface of whatever that Cybertronian thing is that Mark Wahlberg and Laura Haddock were inside of. I think this is the inside of, or rather, they were in the inside of it, and now they're coming out of it, and this is the exterior of it. And remember there was this Transformers Tuesday video where Josh Duhamel was there, and also there was all this water splashing. I think that is a part of that scene. After all, that thing, that sleeping giant Decepticon or whatever it is, was in the bottom of the ocean, and now it's surfaced, and now they came out of that thing, and look at this green thing that Mark Wahlberg is sitting on top of. I think that's Mark Wahlberg, either that or a stunt double, but from what I can make out, that's Hound. If you look on the bottom, right, you know, the bottom here, those look like ammo pouches. And I recognize ammo pouches because, well, I've seen a lot of military gear in person, and that looks like an ammo pouch. And now that I look at it as the potential for it to be Hound, I'm looking at the previous photo. Now you can see the ammo. Now you can see the top of his head that's kind of cut off there. Now you can see his beard. You know what I'm saying? So that looks like Hound, but I'm just curious why he's flat on the ground like that. Now, of course, these green things are actually little physical placeholders for CG assets. And by CG assets, I mean, you know, Transformers characters, all right, that they're going to produce with ILM. You know what I'm saying? So if this is really a scene that's being shot like that, Hound is lying down flat on the ground with Mark Wahlberg sitting on him. And I mean, it doesn't mean that Mark Wahlberg is like sitting on him. Maybe he's just resting there, but maybe he's getting on top of Hound to talk to him. But why would Hound be lying down? Maybe, and I'm just saying maybe Hound actually needed to sacrifice himself to help Mark Wahlberg and Laura Haddock get out of the vehicle. Maybe he was being shot at while he was trying to rescue the humans. I don't know. Or maybe he's just resting. Maybe he's just resting because after all, that was a really, really big deal to help the humans break out of the submerged Cybertronian. Maybe that's what's going on. Or maybe he is the one to bite the dust. Who knows? But you know, anything could happen. I mean, we don't know anything about this scene. All we know is what we see, and we're just taking it at face value. But the reason why they have these scenes like this, where they're, I mean, these CG assets there, like that, like as a green thing, is so that the humans have a reference to interact with them physically. Like, for example, Mark Wahlberg sitting on him like that. Now, here's another thing. Now, check this out. Check out the third photo. This was posted by the Banana Doctor, and I'm looking at this huge hunk of metal, and I'm trying to make out what it is. And from what I can tell, based on the left side of this chunk of metal, that looks like Hound. That looks like Hound's truck parts. And the color over here there you see is green, like olive drab green. I think that's Hound. Now, why would they have like a chunk of metal like that as Hound? Now, if you remember back in Transformers 1, in the 2007 film, they actually made a replica of Bumblebee, a replica that doesn't move, it just stands still. And the reason why they have that is that they can use him in the background, and he's just lying there so that humans can act around it. And there's really, really quick shots. And I'm just thinking that with Hound lying down there, potentially dead or just resting or lying down or severely injured, there's going to be humans acting around that, specifically Mark Wahlberg, and then at least they have a physical object to act around. But the fact is that he's lying down and he's not moving. All right? So, that could mean that Hound could be the one to bite the dust. I really don't know, but it really does suggest that. Or at least he's just like injured and like pretty badly injured during some action sequence, and they need to show him lying down, not moving. So, is it going to be Drift or is it going to be Hound? I really don't think it's going to be Crosshairs, but it could be one or the other. Somebody's got to go, and that is what's going on here. Anyways, that's all I got to talk about in this episode. I know it's a little bit disappointing for the Hound fans or the Drift fans, but I'm just going to leave it at that, and maybe you can post in the comment section below who you think is going to die. Is it really going to be Drift, or is it going to be Hound, or you still think it's going to be Crosshairs? It's not going to be Bumblebee or Optimus Prime, but it could be one of those two. I really believe that. Now, I've provided evidence and theories as to why they're going to go. Why don't you tell me why you think they're going to go, and if you think what I've mentioned makes sense. I'm going to leave it at that for this episode, and I would like to give shout-outs to a couple of Transformers Alphabet challengers, Caselle Knox and tigformers. I'm going to leave you the link to their challenges, their challenge videos, and if you don't know what it is, if you search Transformers Alphabet Battle or hashtag Transformers Alphabet Challenge, you will see a video of me doing the challenge. And what it is that I do the alphabet, but with Transformers characters and words. For example, A is for Alpha Trion, B is for Bumblebee, C is for Cliffjumper, D is for Depth Charge, E is for Energon, F is for Firestorm, etc., etc., etc. Do that in an Instagram video, memorize it, don't type it out, anybody can do that. Memorize it, say it, do it within 1 minute, post your challenge, hashtag Transformers Alphabet Challenge, Transformers Alphabet Battle, whichever you want. I'm going to search for it, and I'm going to give you a shout out, and I'm going to check out that video, and I'll provide you a comment. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. Once again, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, if you want to see more and you enjoyed what you saw, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Haddock in jumpsuits, and it's a video of them performing a little bit of stunt work inside this rotating platform.